What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Skyforge Community Q&A. This time the Skyforge team has let out a ton of answers to a lot of questions. If you missed the first episode, there will be a link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started. Will we be able to use the gamepad, Oculus Rift, or other 3D helmets within the game? They are considering gamepad and have successfully experimented with it in the early stages so far, but for the most part, MMO players on PC are used to playing with a mouse and keyboard, therefore at launch, they will not offer that support. Virtual reality will be entirely dependent on their success and distribution. How important is PvE and PvP in the open world? Skyforge gameplay takes your preferences into account, so there will be a wide selection of all types of activity, and will not force players to participate in any of them if they don't want to. You will occupy yourself as you see fit, and both types of activity will allow you to develop your character the way you like. What are the incentives for participating in PvP? The team understands that besides the storyline, players will have more important needs, therefore PvP will directly affect the development of your character, equipment, characteristics, and more. Players who enjoy PvP can make it a major source of development, but those who do not can choose another route. Death in PvP will be very mild, almost non-existent in terms of consequences. Will the skill in PvP be displayed? Ranks, tables, ratings, arenas, etc.? Yes, of course. Easy answer. This game looks like, insert the name of a game here. Don't you think the project is going to be just another variation of it? The MMO genre is by no means young, and it has a certain set of components, but many things in Skyforge are done differently. While the substance might be recognizable, the implementation will often be non-classical. They go on to mention that it is impossible to completely avoid parallels with other games. Does the game really have an open world, or just a lot of locations with invisible walls? Skyforge takes place on a planet named Ilon, and players have access to numerous regions on its surface. There are large open locations, and there are tiny instances. We decided not to make the world seamless for gameplay reasons, but they're not going to deny players a sense of traveling and exploring. Are there physics in-game, interaction with objects, weather influence? The game has physics for characters, water, fabric, and many other things, but the gameplay is not built around it, as the number of bugs and artifacts in such games is beyond an acceptable amount. The game features different locations at different times of day and with different weather conditions, but there will be no dynamic change for now. Will there be massive player confrontations, like 200 vs 200? This is a topic that they are still discussing and shared a bit of information on. Large PvP battles are epic and appealing until you're in the middle of them. The contribution of the 200th player in a battle like that is invisible. You can hardly demonstrate the tactics in a crowd, and the skill is negated by focus and one-shots. Throwing a huge number of players together in one fight is bad in terms of gameplay also. However, there is always a compromise, and they have found it. Without revealing details, they will just say that for successful participation in a guild battle, your company will need at least 100 active players. Will the opinion of the players be taken into consideration after the closed beta test? The answer is, of course they will, because that's what a beta is for, right? They'll collect statistics, monitor players' behavior, and analyze the actions of social groups and associations. And this is true not only for the closed beta test, but also for the open beta test and for the game after it's been released. Are there any games in development right now that the team views as their competition? Today's player is not a one game at a time type person. These days, every game has to compete with a huge variety of activities on different platforms, other online games, mobile, console games, TV shows, movies, social networking. It's not about competition anymore. It's about beating with the rhythm of modern man. Interesting answer. Speaking of the scale of the game world, what are the dimensions? Can you compare its relative size to other projects? They did not give an exact answer, but said that some time ago the total area exceeded 50 square kilometers, so we can probably anticipate it being much larger than that, I'm guessing. It was said that the project will have one server. Does this mean there will be multiple channels, or are you actually planning to keep a huge number of players on one server? All players from the same region will play on one common shard, so it's not like one single server. This is possible thanks to the server system, location system, and many interesting technical findings that the wonderful programmers have developed. Earlier it was mentioned that there will be third-party applications on smartphones and tablets that could be used to access the game. What are they like? They start by reiterating that it's more of a gaming portal accessible via the browser of any computer, including smartphones and tablets. It contains a knowledge base for the game with a built-in social network and some of the game mechanics. More details will be revealed at a later date, though. Will it be possible to fly? Yes, where needed for the sake of gameplay. Will there be any property, houses at least? The developers said that this is a topic that needs more discussion and demonstration, but not keeping us hanging, they said this: gods have their own piece of property, and it's larger than a hut. How thorough is the customization in the game? Are there many options for altering characters' appearance? So gods are supernatural entities. They can assume various forms, and they're not restricted by the limitations of mortals. They do not have to wear armor to protect themselves, and they can choose how to appear to mortals. Therefore, you can customize your appearance and clothes regardless of your class, don some of the same realistic armor, dress an extravagant magician, or find an unusual piece of clothing that reflects your personality. Will there be a stealth class? Short answer is yes, and they apparently will be revealing more about this in the near future. But given the team plans on continuing development post-launch, even on the classes, there's going to be quite a lot of them over time, so stealth class, yes. Will there be crafting? How will it work? In Skyforge, there are several mechanics similar to craft systems from other games. You can simply combine items, sure, but you can also improve your equipment. Many locations have a close analog of collecting, but the principal craft mechanic is large and unusual part of Divinity, which they will talk about in the near future. Are there any intermediate stages between a regular player and a god? The player learns about their immortality very quickly, literally in the first several minutes of the game. To become a god, you will need to pass multiple tests to earn the respect of other gods and mortals, and last but not least in this process is your followers. So that's another Skyforge community Q&A. Please, if you have any questions, leave them down below. We'll try to get those to developers. If not, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for the next video. Bye.